Welcome to NYC Now, your source for local news in and around New York City from WNYC. It's Wednesday, May 28th. Here's the midday news from Michael Hill.
Police say they've arrested and charged a 13-year-old boy with murder for the shooting and killing of a Yonkers man in the Bronx. NYPD officials say the teen faces murder, manslaughter, and gun charges. The shooting in Kingsbridge Heights last month killed 28-year-old Daoud Marji and wounded a 33-year-old woman. Officials say Marji suffered a gunshot wound to the head on University Avenue. U.S. Marshals and NYPD detectives have arrested a man accused of beating and robbing an off-duty NYPD officer. WNYC's Charles Lane reports.
Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch announced on social media that 23-year-old Tavon Hargrove was apprehended in Virginia. Following law enforcement tradition, she says that the injured officer's handcuffs were used to handcuff him. Police accuse Hargrove of attacking and robbing the 27-year-old off-duty officer of his weapon and credit cards in the Bronx over the weekend. Video shows two men striking the officer and stomping on the officer's head. Police later arrested Hargrove's father for allegedly using the police officer's credit cards.
Charges and lawyer information were not immediately available. Police are still looking for a second person. New York Mayor Eric Adams is urging families of undocumented school children in New York City to stay in school. His comments come after a high school student from Venezuela was put into federal detention after showing up for a recent immigration hearing.
It didn't happen in school. I'm telling children to go to school, be in school. We have not had ICE raids in our school.
The student's lawyers say he's a 20-year-old asylum seeker named Dylan. His last name is being withheld at his family's request because they fear government retaliation. School officials say he's the first city school student to be taken into immigration detention in President Trump's second term. Dylan was detained at an immigration courthouse where these kinds of arrests don't usually happen. ICE says Dylan has been placed in expedited removal proceedings but offered no further details. Children and their families will once again venture to an aptly named Brooklyn neighborhood to see toy elephants fall from the skies. WNYC's Julia Hayward reports.
Thousands of pachyderms will parachute from Dumbo skies in timed drops onto Washington Street on Friday. The annual event is known as the Dumbo Drop, and it'll be followed up by a celebration with lots of kids' activities, a restaurant row, live music, and a flash mob dance party. You'll need tickets if you want to attend one of the drops. They run $15 to $25, and proceeds go to 2 neighborhood public schools. More info is at dumbo.nyc.
65 with showers, chances of rain today.
Stick around. There's more to come.
NYC.
It's All Things Considered on WNYC. I'm Sean Carlson. New Yorkers and community leaders from Upper Manhattan are remembering Charles Rangel, who represented the area in Congress for decades and died this week at the age of 94. Joining us now is Adriano Espaillat, who succeeded Rangel in the House of Representatives and currently represents much of Harlem, all of Washington Heights, Inwood, and some of the Bronx. Congressman, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me in your program.
So, for those who knew him well, Rangel was known as the Lion of Lenox Avenue. But how would you explain his legacy to someone who doesn't remember Rangel's time in Congress?
Well, he was the voice of urban America at a time where Congress and Washington and perhaps the world did not understand the plight of urban America. He was an articulate voice for communities just like Harlem and Washington Heights that are placed in cities across the country. And so when Rangel spoke, he didn't just speak for the 13th Congressional District. He spoke for urban America. And I think that he did a fantastic job at articulating the concerns and the plight of those communities.
So as we said, you're Rangel's successor. What's one lesson that you learned from him?
You know, he didn't hold a grudge. I mean, as tough as the campaigns were between him and I, he reached out the minute I became a member of Congress And I actually became good friends with him and could resort to him for advice during difficult time in Congress. And someone that also gave opportunity for as many people as possible. He opened the door wide open, and he was synonymous with opportunity. So at a time where opportunity is being ripped away from us, we should all seek to be like Charlie Rangel.
That was Congressman Adriano Espiat. Congressmember, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening. This is NYC Now from WNYC. Be sure to catch us every weekday, 3 times a day, for your top news headlines and occasional deep dives. And subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. See you this evening.